I'm Laura from Suddenly Sightless. I get that wrong every time. These are our 1 cup brownies, which we are now going to show you how to make. Simple and easy. I will list the ingredients and the equipment you'll need below, and make sure you wash your hands, clean your area, and preheat your oven to 180 degrees before we start. Hope you enjoy! Hi. So first of all, I'm going to start off with melting half a cup of butter, and to do this I'm just using a big spoon, normal butter, margarine, a green cup. I usually have 2 cups, one for dry and one for wet. If you just kind of averagely fill the cup halfway, don't worry if it's not enough, don't worry if it's too much. This recipe will hopefully, you'll have some form of chocolate cake come out at the end. So, just gonna do this, if I can get it in the cup. Right, okay, so I'm going to put this, I've got to turn my microwave on first. Plug. Excuse my kitchen, world's smallest kitchen. So I'm going to put this in the microwave. I'm going to pop it in for 1 minute. I'll probably check on it in around, if you've got a microwave like me, you just click quick start twice. That's easy enough. So that is probably around 50 to 100 grams of butter, but I'm not using scales. The whole point of this recipe is to not use scales. Now this is ready. It shouldn't be too hot, you don't want it scalding or burning. And I'm just going to pop that to one side there. Next job is going to take 1 whole bar of chocolate, which is around 100 grams. Sorry, someone's texted me. If I can get the packet open. I'm trying. Right, okay. So you can use any brand of chocolate you like. You can use cheap chocolate, expensive chocolate, and all you want to do is
eat it.
No. Eat a little bit. And put the rest in the bowl.
How much? All of it, or
all of it? Whole bar.
Minus the bit you ate.
Yep. And then again into a microwave. And I'll pop that in for potentially 1 minute. Again, keep checking it. Give it a stir if it needs it. So that took about 1 minute. It shouldn't be hot. Make sure your microwave's on a low temperature and you won't burn yourself. So now I'm going to take the butter that I melted, put that in the sink earlier, and I'm going to tip that into the chocolate mix, nice and fatty. Now I just used butter from the corner shop because they had none of the fancy stuff. So,
but will it work if you use the fancy stuff?
You can use anything you like as long as it's chocolate and butter, and then you want to mix it, and you can, if you're okay with colours, you can see the colour change. If not, just maybe count to 60 and then just keep stirring it, stir the chocolate in.
Well, I struggle with colours and I can see that that colour has changed as well as the consistency.
So now we have chocolate butter.
Oh. I'd spread that on my toast.
So keep mixing. And now what we need to do is I keep my wet ingredients to one side, and I have a glass bowl here which I'm going to put my dry ingredients into. Well, I say dry, next lot of ingredients into. Take another cup, another beaker, and here I have some brown sugar. Now I'm going to put, let me have a look, I'm going to add 1 cup of brown sugar. Doesn't have to be to the top, just or you can tip it all over the floor. You know, these cups are from IKEA, you know, it's like 100 mils I think.
But it's good because you can kind of see through.
Yep, so fill it to the top. If you make a mess like me, don't worry, pour it into the bowl. Yep.
The glass bowl.
Yep. Now the next tip I have is, when you're cracking eggs, obviously you may not be able to see any bits of shell. So I will put a sieve under the egg and it will catch any bits of shell.
Ooh, good idea.
So we're going to take 3 eggs. You should preferably have medium eggs. Now I use the edge of my cooker to crack the egg. You just want to break it into the sieve. If it doesn't go through, don't worry, we'll push it through in a minute because we don't know if we're going to get any shell in there. We don't want that going into our mixture. Right. Oh, next one. Okay, right, I'm just going to wash my hands. I really don't like the feel of egg. Yeah, hate the feel of egg. We're going to use like a flat edge spoon or spatula or anything you've got, and then just push the egg through the sieve. It'll come through. You don't want to get eggshell in your brownies.
No. Crunchy brownies aren't the nicest.
No, I'm just hoping it goes through. Come on. You may want to pause it. Have all of the egg and the sugar together. Continue mixing this mixture until you can feel the texture change and it goes quite frothy. So I'm just using my cooker to lean on. There's no heat, nothing, just I can no longer feel any sugar granules with the spatula. I'm going to mix it a little bit more.
You might be able to hear the sugar as well until it's all mixed.
Yeah, I mean, again, if you're worried, just time it for around 1.5 minutes.
And that's brown sugar and eggs.
Brown sugar and eggs. Right, okay. And our next step now is to take the yummy chocolate and butter. Okay, I'm just going to
I can smell it.
a spoon. And we want to pour that mixture. Ugh, it does not look very nice. Sorry, my arm's probably now.
A little bit.
Pour it into the mixture. I know you're thinking this looks way too runny to be brownies. Don't worry, we've still got lots of ingredients to add. All of the ingredients I will put down below. Remember, you don't need any scales, no heat, just access to a microwave. And if you feel like you need a hand, then grab someone. If not, I'll make brownies with you. So all the mixture, or as much as you can. Scrape around the edge of the bowl. I mean, I'm using a bright green bowl because the brown stands out on it to me, so I can see. And I have a range of different coloured bowls which help. And then we're just going to fold this in. Fold this mixture in. Mix
It's like
it.
laundry.
Yeah. That's not that kind of folding, dear. Just give it a mix. You don't want to put too much air into this, so just kind of give it a swirl.
It'd be more like sponge than brownies.
It's quite gooey, so
some people prefer like gooey brownies. I prefer a bit of both. Some people prefer cakey.
I like gooey. These should be gooey. Like, it depends how long you cook them for and how you prefer them. Is we're going to put 1 cup of flour. Should be plain flour. If you don't have plain available, you can use self-raising and just maybe a little bit more risen. And we're just going to fill 1 cup. Again, don't worry, make a mess. I'm going to get this all over my kitchen. If you're quite used to your kitchen, then you should be okay. If you want to feel how full the cup is, because it's flour, you can compress it. So I know I've still got an inch or 2 in there. Now, I know there's still some room in the cup, but I'm not going to risk pouring any more flour on that. So, and now we're going to pour the, oh no we're not. We are going to bring back our sieve.
Freshly washed.
Freshly washed. Pour the flour into the sieve. And all this does is just remove any lumps, which I'm sure anyone who does cooking knows. So I'm just going to...
Even I know when I burn water.
Just that in. There we go, it shouldn't take too long to do.
You can always get a clean spoon and tap the top of the flour.
Yeah, I just like to shake it though.
Yeah, you like making a mess.
Shake it, I do. It's only me that cleans my kitchen, so.
Shake it off, shake it off.
Now, if you find you get lots of like, you can feel it when it stops coming through. And the sieve feels a lot lighter. But you may also get some deposits of like flour rock. And just push it through the sieve. If it doesn't go through the sieve, don't use it.
It's completely safe, it's just solidified.
Yeah, It's been in my cupboard for a while. So I'm just gonna pop those rocks in the waste bin.
If you can't see the expiration date on flour, you'll be able to know if it's gone off because it starts to smell like Play-Doh.
And then we're just gonna fold the flour into the mixture. Now, if you can't see at all, then you will feel a soft layer on top of the mixture, and then you'll feel like it's kind of sticky, like kind of tight underneath.
Yeah.
And then just keep mixing, and you'll feel it getting clumpy, like it'll become stiffer,
Harder to spoon
around. But using the 1 cup, it should give you the correct amount. I mean, if you have a beaker any size, as long as you continue to use that beaker throughout your recipe.
And as long as it's not like the size of a massive mug.
Well, you just have lots of brownies.
That's fine by me.
So there you go, you can feel it, and now you can see it's gone quite stiff.
You can feel it dripping off the spoon as well.
And it smells so good.
I thought you were going to eat that then. Raw egg. Salmonella.
No, salmonella's been eradicated from eggs in the UK. You'd like to know. So now we need to add more chocolate, of course. If you are concerned about the mixing, again, time the fold for a minute. That should get all the bits in. But like I say, try and use a bowl that the colour will stand out on, or ask for a hand.
Glass bowls are always a bit difficult as well with sight impaired people.
Yeah. So I use this one, like it's nice and thick, and so you can hopefully see the colour difference on the video. But for any mixing and stuff, I use my colour. So now we're going to take our dry cup again. I use 2 differential colours for wet. So I'm using the purple for the dry ingredients, and I've used a green bowl and a green cup for the wet.
Okay.
So now we're going to take some cocoa powder. You can use whatever percentage you like, depends how chocolatey. I am using a Swiss chocolate powder. And I'll just take the lid. Oh, it smells so good. Smell it, Alex, smell it.
Oh, that is lovely.
And what I'm going to do, I'm going to use a spoon. If I can find one. Spoon. To put half a cup into the purple one. So
that's usually about 4 heaped tablespoons.
Yeah. Oh, if you want it chocolatey, you can add more. I'm just going to have a look where that is.
Yeah, I can see it's about half a cup, just under.
I'm going to put a little bit more in. So, again, you want to
throw that in there.
A sieve. No, you want to sieve it. You don't want any lumps in your brownies.
Throw it in the sieve in there.
You want to shake it. Shake it, shake it.
Kind of reminds me of flubber, but with chocolate powder. That's
wait, no, that's push it, that's shake it. Do you know a song about shake it? Shake it off, shake it off. Okay, this may take a little bit longer.
Shake it.
You can hear this powder in the sieve. Can you listen closely?
Ooh,
so if you can still keep hearing that noise, you know you've still got stuff in the sieve. If it feels like you've been moving yours for ages and you can still hear it, get your hand and again
swirl it around.
Push on any debris you can feel.
Once again, if it's too hard, don't use that.
Yeah, get some new stuff.
Took that out.
There we go. We should have got all of them. What's that? That's just a bit stuck. So I'll put more. And then fold your chocolate into your mixture.
I can't wait till we add the white chocolate. I love white chocolate. My mum thinks it tastes like soap. Don't know what she's been eating.
I love white chocolate. I'll happily sit there and eat a whole pack of Milky Butters.
Oh yeah.
So now you can feel how thick that mixture is. We can see the colour difference as well. It's slightly darker, and you can the smell of the chocolate gets more intense the more ingredients you add. So I know people find it like brownies quite easy to make, but as the eye and blind, they may be quite difficult. I'm using roughly an 8x8 baking tray for these. So I'm going to butter the tray. I have cut out an average kind of square to put in the base, which I did this earlier.
Is that greaseproof paper?
Greaseproof paper, yeah, sorry. And then if you take a square kitchen towel and just kind of screw it up stick it in your butter. Get a good lump of butter. You do not want your brownies to stick. Even if you have a non-stick tray, grease it, and you can just feel, it doesn't matter how much extra you put in, you can just feel the cloth slide round the base. And if it's like this, you can see the colour difference. Can you see that, Al?
I can see that.
It's quite a difference, isn't it? I know this seems a little bit pointless, but I like to be extra safe. Put your greaseproof paper on the bottom, and then you know that at least you're going to be able to lift them out. Right? Let's put a little bit of that on.
Lovely.
Okay, so now, the fun bit. We're going to get your mixture. You may need a hand with this, you may not. And we're just going to pour away. Oh.
I'm so tempted to lick that bowl.
You can if you like.
The recipe does say you can add a teaspoon of golden syrup.
Yep.
But as you can see, this is already quite sticky and quite sweet.
This is a recipe I have made myself, so if you wish to use it, that's fine. But if you want to do anything else with it, let me know.
When are you going to add the white chocolate?
We will add the white chocolate to the top.
Ooh.
Now at this point, you can add chocolate chips, you can add marshmallows, fruit, whatever takes your fancy.
I think if you add cherry and marshmallow, it makes Rocky Road.
Oh, you need to have biscuit as well.
Oh yeah.
But as this is the cake recipe,
I prefer this. I don't like fruit in my cakes.
let me try it.
Nice.
Oh my god, yes. Okay, so
Oh.
sorry, no, it's me. I'm gonna break up some white chocolate. Now this is all in my tin. I'm just gonna kind of roll it around a little bit. It's nice and even. As you can see, my oven is my part of my work surface. And then, oh, I can never get these packets open. They don't like to make it easy. So any kind of white chocolate, and I'm just gonna break this up and chuck it in. And you can have some nice white chocolate chunks in your brownies.
White chocolate is easier to break than milk chocolate. Definitely easier than dark chocolate. That stuff is tough.
You can use a rolling pin.
Yes.
And just
Or a blender on a low setting, but that's too fast for me.
If the white chocolate's on top, it'll go a little bit crispy and then may melt in the middle.
Ooh.
Or it's going to come out looking like a marble cake, but we'll see.
Either way, good to eat.
Yes, definitely. And then we just, oh, my hands are really clean. Just everybody knows. And as I said in the introduction, preheat your oven to 180. And then they should take between 15 and 20 minutes to cook.
Depending what oven you have, sometimes there is a light that goes out when it is ready, or sometimes you'll hear a click. I think you can buy accessible equipment that tells you, or I usually just play it by ear and wait about 20 minutes.
I do like to check on them, but I understand if you can't, you don't have the ability to do that. So now we're just going to put them in the oven.
Yeah.
Put them on top shelf. So as you see, I've popped the white chocolate on the top.
Lovely.
I'll stick them in. Now I have a fan assisted oven, so it gets quite hot. There we go. That's it. Now we wait. Right, so we've taken the brownies out of the oven now. They have cooled. And look. Ooh, they are cool.
I'm excited.
So all I'm going to do is, you don't have to do this if you don't want to, or if you don't feel comfortable. I'm just going to get a flat knife. Sorry, I've got something in my nose. And I'm just going to go round the edge of the pan.
So how did you know when they were done?
I checked them in the oven. I give them a little bit, was it a wobble you said?
Yes,
yeah.
wobble? Yeah, Laura uses my top tip. So if you can see them, or if you can feel it, when you take your brownies out of the oven, if you give the tray a bit of a shake, then you can see if they stand firm or if they wobble. If they wobble, they need to go back in for a few more minutes. But they didn't wobble, so we were okay.
I'm just going to try and...
Ooh.
There we
Way.
go. I thought they were going to get stuck and then we'll be stuck forever. And then you just peel your greaseproof paper off.
You'll be able to feel the edges.
Yeah.
I need greaseproof paper.
Flip it back over. And then you can get a knife, or if you don't feel comfortable, get somebody else to do this. Sorry, it's very dark there. I'm gonna. And there's cut away. And mine
Is it bad that I would have kept that like hole and just covered it in chocolate frosting?
No, bad for your heart. But it'll make you feel good.
Oh yeah, what a way to go.
So there we go. Those are our 1 cup brownies.
I'm so excited to eat these.